Well, you got beat to the punch today, Canadian Führer. Second place is the first loser, my friend. What's up? How's it going? It's going. I don't know, dude. In kind of a shit mood today. That's not uncommon, though. Looking good. Looking like a toadstool that sprouted out of the fucking forest floor. Hey, Paul, your discussion about Manhattan resonated with me. I held similar feelings when I went there last year. Cool, yeah. I mean, clearly I'm not the only one that feels that way about the place. It draws people from all over the world. Ahoy! Ahoy, ahoy. Flash fried this week. No. No flash fried this week. I watched Vice last night. I loved the film and totally recommend it. Cool. Yeah, I want to see it. I don't know when Ashley and I are going to get the chance to go see it, but definitely want to. Thanks, Pickle Dude. Thanks, Pickle Dude. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way to get it done in a timely way because Scotty's out of town, and you know, we don't want to do a flash ride without the Scotsworth. So, and I think you know, it was nice to take a couple of days off for Christmas. Me and Ashley got to spend, you know, Christmas Day together. I know TJ and everybody else was with their families. And then after yesterday, Ashley and I got together with TJ and Chelsea, had some burgers, and just chilled over there. Kind of our little post-holiday celebration or whatever. So that was nice to be able to do. What was up with the impromptu knife sex during the last stream? When did we even bring up knives in the last stream? Was that a topic? The last stream was like, we talked about art, we talked about I don't remember anything about knives, so sorry, brah. Thoughts on Bruce Valanche? He's a nice guy to be friends with, you know. 2018, thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs sideways like every year. I don't give years. There you go. There's 2018 and looking forward to a 2019, huh? No big deal. You ever seen the movie Quest for Fire? It's free on YouTube. It has Ron Perlman, and it's a great caveman movie and an original concept. I have seen Quest for Fire. It is a great caveman movie. Probably the best caveman movie, honestly. There's a couple that I remember seeing. One's called Iceman, and that's a movie. It's kind of like the dramatic version of Encino Man. You know, like Iceman is about, you know, they find some dude in permafrost, and then when they thaw him out, they realize they can bring him back, and they do. And he's kind of kept in this as a science experiment. They make this habitat for him, but, you know, and they start studying him. He's like a Neanderthal. They start studying him and stuff, thinking, you know, like a science project. But he's you know, obviously realizes that he's in an enclosure. Cool. Apartment life, dude. Apartment life is awesome. Any potential for improvement in 2019? No, I think it's gonna middle around here. It's gonna idle right at a sideways thumb. What's your fave horror movie? I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite all time, you know? Like, probably the most influential horror movie on my taste would be the Night of the Living Dead, the 60s, black and white, pre-colorized, pre-remastered. I don't really consider Aliens to be a traditionally horror film. I mean, I consider it to be an action movie with horror elements. The first Aliens, or the first Alien, was definitely a horror movie. The second, action movie with horror elements. Did you ever play Smash with your name? Not yet. No. I mean, it's only been like 2 days, dude. I'll let you guys know. Trust me. I'll tell you guys how Smash goes when it happens. Aliens is like Left 4 Dead. It's got horror elements, but it's more of an action-themed romp. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Steampunk, Paul. I'm just gonna sit here and drink. I think that's gonna be this entire stream. I'm just gonna quietly sit here, sip on this drink. Okay, that's enough of that. That's the sips of my drink segment. That's a new one here on Highdeology that we're trying out, where I take sips of my drink. Paul, do an impression of an old black woman. No, thank you. I would not like to be ostracized forever from society. One of my greatest fears is when I get older, I get those really pronounced lines by my cheek, like yours, Paul. No offense. These? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. What are you gonna do? They're my cheeks. The apples of my cheeks. It's one of the reasons why I make such a good Santa. Santa's gotta have these, you know? For sure. Cheeks of wisdom, yeah, my wisdom sacks. I'm already getting those lines. I don't know when I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't follow the progression of my face into old age. So I may have had these for a very, very long time. I don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily new to me, or if I've had them for like 20 years. I don't know. Nasolabial folds. They're more prominent in darker skinned people as they age, whereas lighter folk get more wrinkles. Oh. Wisdom sacks. Yeah. Yeah, somebody do it right now. Because I can't. I'm on the phone. So one of you guys go back to the channel, go back to one of my first videos, find one where I'm kind of straight on, and see if you can see these, what were they, nasolabial folds? See if you can see my wisdom sacks. Look at them. Wow, I've never played with my wisdom sacks before. Cool. They're floppy. Wee. Wee. You guys made me notice my wisdom sacks for the first time, dude. Wow. You. You know you want to try it, dude. You showed a picture on DP where you had them as a baby. Yeah. See? You've had them forever. There you go. It's in. Time to update your Twitter name. Yeah, you got a point. You changed your shirt. Nice. Yeah, I did. I am wearing almost everything I was wearing yesterday. What's under that hat? Hair? My wisdom sacks are below my belt. I see what you mean. It's mustache goes here indicator. Yep. Looks like this is going to be an inside stream day. Wow. Let's go. Let's make it happen. I don't know that I can sit and talk about my wisdom sacks with a couple of 8-year-old girls riding a scooter around down below. You know what I mean? I think I might get arrested for that down here. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that there's a statute on the books about discussing your wisdom sacks in the presence of 8-year-old girls. So let's bring this wisdom sack discussion inside. Unfortunate but true. I was enjoying the weather out there, but here we are inside. The sound of child's laughter is sweet, but you know what's sweeter? The silence of not having any fucking kids. You got that right, my friend. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Now, let's see. Is there something over here? Anything that I can prop this thing up with? Just a smidge. Just a smidgen. That's a smidgen. That worked. Cool. All right. Well, I will smoke one with you, but you guys, this may be new to you too if you didn't watch yesterday's stream, but when we're doing sketchy shit, we got to turn on the sketch filter. This is to let everyone know that there is sketch going on, you see? FBI averted, yeah. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Ooh, Paul, do you still hear those screeching birds when you stream outside these days? Screeching birds? Like the ravens and shit that live out in there? I mean, yeah, they still screech. They still screech. Which South Park character do you identify the most with? I don't know that I identify really with any of those characters. Stan, let's go through the principal characters. There's Cartman, there's Stan, there's Kenny, there's who's the other one that goes with Stan? The other friend. There's Stan and Kyle. Thank you. And they all have parents and shit. Kyle's mom and dad are like Jewish parents. Dinor, please. Well, Ashley's home. That's how you can tell that. Ahoy, hoy.
Well, one of the kids is like wanting to see the hamster.
What hamster?
Our hamster?
How did they know we haven't have a hamster?
Because they asked, they're like, do you have kids? I'm like, no. It's a dog and a hamster.
Well, he's asleep.
Yeah, I was like, you can come back tonight if you want.
Yeah, don't. I was just talking about my wisdom sacks in front of those kids, so don't invite them over. That's just going to compound the problem.
Okay. Everyone's act like we're not home.
Yep. Can't wait to whoop you and Ashley and Smash. Hit me up whenever you guys are interested in playing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't think I'm ever gonna be good at Smash. I'm just gonna suck at it and have fun playing it. Because if I try too hard to be good at it, I'm just not gonna like the game anymore. So yeah, you probably will whip my ass in Smash, but that's fine. Because that's not what the game is about, doggone it. What was the last deep conversation that you had with TJ about? The last deep conversation that I had with TJ? We talked last night, like, I don't know if you watched yesterday's Highdeology, but we talked last night about that. So we got together for dinner last night. I made some burgers. Went and chilled at TJ's house with Ashley. And TJ and I went out on the porch at some point so he could smoke and had a whole conversation about the shit we talked about on Highdeology that day. You know, art, and the genesis of art, culture, and how it spreads and moves. So I would say that would be the last deep conversation I had with TJ. If there's free time, TJ and I will usually get into some kind of deep conversation. Dopamine loop. See, that's why I like being away from this shit. Because I get caught in the dopamine loop. I might be able to take this shit back outside now. I haven't heard any screeching weasels running around out there. I'm in the same time zone as you, and I just woke up. Whoa, buddy. I thought I was a late sleeper, but damn, son. Paul, why do you talk to the neighborhood kids? I didn't. Ashley did. I just put my head down and go, yeah, go away. Move. Why do you hate children, Paul? Children are our future. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. It's a terrible song. I mean, there's some good things in that. But that first part of it, like that first lyric, is a terrible piece of advice. I believe that children are our future. Okay, well, technically, you can't argue with that. They are, because they're going to be the future, right? So, okay, so I'm okay with that. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now, if they're talking about after they've grown up, okay, but don't let kids lead the way. That's not a good idea. And I don't know if that lyric is saying let them lead the way through their own education, which I don't think is a good idea either. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. That's the next one. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but sure. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. You don't give, I mean, I guess you can instill pride in a kid, but pride comes from your own actions. So you can teach kids what pride is, but you can't give them a sense of pride. Ranting about nonsense, as usual. Fuck, man. Timed out, as usual. Sitting in the 300-second dunce cap waiting room, as usual. That's the problem. It's sappy. Yeah, you're right. It really is. It really is a sappy song. Let's get it up here. I want to read the whole fucking thing since somebody thinks it's nonsense. That means I need to cover it deeper usually. So let's dig a little deeper. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what. It says Whitney Houston, greatest love of all. All right, so I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. I was right about this part so far. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Okay. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. It's just sentimental. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, sometimes you watch a kid playing and you're like, man, I used to be one of those. That looks like fun. I remember how fun that used to be, and that's cool. But sometimes you saw it earlier, the children's laughter just drives you away. You're just like, oh, God. You two harpies, go somewhere else, please. Everyone's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. Now... Okay. All right, Whitney. I think Whitney's projecting a little bit of her own sentiment here, if she wrote this at all, which I don't know if she did. I know she sung it. So everyone's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be, and so I learned to depend on me. Okay, so that's a good piece of advice wrapped up in this sentimental hamburger here. So I learned to depend on me. I mean, that's really like pretty much the lesson of life, is that at the end, like at the very end of the day, what you got is you. When the chips are all down and shit's the worst, what you got is you. I decided long ago, I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. See, this is good. So I don't get how does this fit in with the first part, though? So she's saying that, like, she would. I guess I see the sentiment now. Now, actually reading it, I mean, it is sappy. It's sappy for sure. I am backtracking because that part, I can't fucking argue with that. That sentiment there is not the fluffy, floaty sentiment that I thought was going to be in this song. That's one stanza of the song. Talks about how she thinks children should be treated. And then she talks about how she was treated. And then the song is called The Greatest Love of All, and the greatest love of all is inside of me. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Look at that. Look at that warm. Well, yes, Jesus and then this. I mean, for me, for my dollar, that is that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good sentiment. You know, love yourself, and count on yourself to be there for yourself. You're right. See, I always listen to the first part of this song and just assume it was one of those heal the world songs, but it really isn't. It is happy, but too bad Whitney loved the crack pipe more. Fuck. It's true though. She did. She did love some crack. Is there a YouTuber that you're subscribed to from very early years of YouTube? Mine would be the Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't know. Let's not talk about YouTubers, okay? Let's not be that boring. Let's not have that boring, like, which YouTubers do you... I don't like any YouTubers, even myself. I'm a YouTuber and I hate my channel. I hate my channel. I hate my show. I don't want to talk about mood. Sorry, I don't want to talk about fucking... I want to talk about YouTubers. Thoughts on modern pop music?
Hey, Paul,
Not really.
did you take the car anywhere last night, or was I just really that bad at parking?
Do you remember when you got out of the car and I was like, kind of close over there, and you're like, am I? I don't think so. And just got out?
Yeah.
I just decided to not fight that battle.
Okay, well, not just that, but like my left tire was like in the other parking space. I was like almost like the line was almost in the middle of the car.
Yeah, you.
Like I didn't know it was that
I
bad.
told you about it, but whatever.
I didn't know I was not in
Yep.
line.
Yep. No. It was raining all hard and shit, but I could see. Like, I thought you'd notice when you looked over and the car next to you was like 6 inches from your door.
I thought that maybe that car was like far to the right.
Nope.
And it wasn't me at fault.
Well, I mean, there was some shenanigans. The car to the right of you was that big truck, that big canine truck, and it was straddling its line, so you had to be over a little bit, but you overcompensated and left like enough room to park a jumbo jet on the right side. And then, like, I don't even know how you got out of the car. But that's funny. Yeah, that was one of those ones, I'm learning. It's one of those ones where I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, this doesn't matter, so let's just go inside. I'm learning to not be an argumentative fuck about every little thing. And I'm also trying to learn not to criticize every little thing that I see people do wrong. Because it's not worth the arguing. You're right. Paul, would you ever have an orgy? They're messy. Would 10 of 10 recommend? I've never had an orgy, my friend. Paul, if aliens made themselves clear to us, how would you think humanity would take it? Panic and chaos in the streets or something? I don't know. It depends on how they reveal themselves to us, doesn't it? Like if they show up, in a diplomatic way and start communicating, then I think humanity reacts one way. And if they show up and start firing plasma lasers all over the place and incinerating people, I think they react a different way. Do you think that aliens are aware of us already? I don't know, man. This old fucking conversation. I mean, we have to have had this alien. Not that I understand doing a show like this, you're gonna have the same conversation 15 times, but I feel like the alien one, the are there aliens? Do you believe in aliens? What would happen if aliens did X? I believe like we have like literally reamed this conversation's butthole to the point of like I don't even know if there's any reason to fucking dive in there again. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like that's the big like there it is. That's my blanket answer for aliens. I don't know. I don't know. Like if aliens did X, they'd be pretty cool. You mean ecstasy? Do people even call that X anymore? I don't even think, or were you just using X as a placeholder? Were you using X as a variable? What the fuck? Who cares? Popping on X, popping on. I don't think he's talking about ecstasy though. I think he's talking about Xanax in that lyric there. Uh, I might be wrong though. Paul, what did you do for Christmas? I chilled here with Ashley. Christmas Eve, I made some enchiladas. She made some fucking whatever. I've answered that already. We had a Christmas. We sat. We opened presents. Well, last night we went and chilled with Chelsea and TJ. I made some hamburgers and stuff. We ate them. Ashley made some awesome bread pudding. We ate that. We smoked. We talked. We laughed. We talked about vision. I'm fucking hilarious, dude. Oh man. I just wish that like, we could explain to people that like when we hang out, like when we all chill with TJ or chill over at TJ's house, that I know people think like, oh man, that must be really cool. But it's actually like way cooler than they'll ever realize. You know what I mean? Like what they're imagining in their heads is like would be lame. And there's just no way to express how cool it is. So you just have to live it, you have to live that life. You have to be bout that life, Way to rub it in. I know, that was the point. We drink, we smoke, we laugh, we talk about vision. What drugs are allowed and what do you do? I couldn't even explain it to you guys, dude. Just stop trying to understand. Paul, do you think Democrats' plans will bring corruption or is that crazy to think? I don't know. I don't care. I don't vote, so I really don't care. What drug you done? Yeah, dude. Everybody want to know. What happened to the chat, man? Yesterday the chat was pretty cool, and today the chat is like, I feel like the special ed chat showed up. Like yesterday was like the college prep chat, and then I guess today is like. Ding dong. Do you think Elite Dangerous will ever have a first person shooter mechanic? Do you think Elite Dangerous will have a first-person shit? Like, what is going on, dude? See, this is why you don't talk to kids. Even funnier if we interviewed an actual survivor. I'm just listening to this whole thing play out. This is the problem. This is why when they say, do you have kids? You say, nope. You just walk away. See, because now you've did it, dude. Trump's flight radar was live in public like 3 days ago. Really? How? How'd that happen? Nope, and I don't want them. Yeah, that'd be the best way to answer that question. Nope, and I don't want them. Why? Because I hate kids. Then you wouldn't be getting knocks on the door. Whatever. It's unavoidable in places like this that you're going to meet your neighbors and shit, and that's pretty normal shit. If we lived in a little neighborhood and the neighbor girls walked over and like knocked on our door and asked to see our hamster, it wouldn't be a weird thing. So it's one of those things you've got to put up with in an apartment life. When someone knocks on your door or calls your phone, it's the worst feeling. That's because you are like me and have a nervous personality type. For some people, it's an exciting thing. Some people, their phone rings and they're like, ooh. Or somebody knocks on their door and they're like, what package or gift or special surprise could that be? And then there are some people like us, like, who's coming to get me? What did I do? What's wrong? Why is my phone ringing? Fuck, who's calling me right now? Why would they call? Oh, God, why would they call me? Oh, shit, what's wrong? Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, dude, I'm chilling. I'm fine. What are you up to? Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. Nah, just a little tired or something, man. All right, yeah. All right, later. Isn't nervousness a kind of excitability? I mean, that's part of it, sure. It's an overreaction to the negative implications of things, usually. You have become what you hated all your life, Paul. Paul will soon become everything he has. Wait a minute. That comment is strange. It says, you have become what you have hated all your life, Paul. And then the next sentence is, Paul will soon become everything he has hated his whole life. Am I there or am I just getting there, bro? How do you have that much of a fuck up in 2 sentences? How do you have one sentence that invalidates the next? How dumb do you gotta be? That's like saying, the sky is blue. I look at pretty purple sky. It's like, what? What? I love dogs. I kick dog in face. It's like, it's the amount of fucking self-refutation in that comment was off the fucking charts. I don't know how it gets that bad that quick. Don't you tell me to simmer down, bitch. Say what I want. I speak from the heart. I say what I feel.
Simmer up, Paul.
Yeah, simmer up. Thanks. Thanks, baby. See, that's why Ashley's my girlfriend and you're all just people in the chat. You guys tell me to simmer down. She's over here trying to simmer me up. Salty Paul. Yeah. Salty chat, dude. Bunch of crybabies and whiners in the chat today. Bunch of boo-hooing going on. I raise my voice, everybody gets mad. Everybody gets all angry. Gets all flustered.
You're actually not being that loud.
I know. That's my thing. Like they've never heard me loud. I mean, I'm being loud, but I'm not being.
Highdeology is pretty loud sometimes, but right now you're actually not being loud.
Yeah. See? Ashley said I'm not even being loud, so fuck all of you.
In comparison to other ideologies you've done, where you've been super loud, and I can hear you through the window.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. That'll happen. Intimidatingly loud. Yeah. You can blame my theater teacher for that shit, though. When I first started doing theater, I had kind of a softer voice. And she pulled me aside. I was in my first role, and she'd casted me in this play. Which one was that? Was it Steel Magnolias? It was Steel Magnolias. It's my first play. And I played a very small part in it. It's an all-female cast with the exception of one part, and it's a taxi driver that shows up. And it's actually a pretty funny part. You get to deliver a couple of jokes, but it's just a bit part, right? And she had casted me in that role to the chagrin of all of the upperclassmen, men or dudes that were in drama at that time, because I was just this little freshman kid. And I was pretty bad. Like I was delivering the lines okay, but I was on stage and I was, going like, hey, I'm here to pick you up. Blah, blah, blah. I was doing the thing, but she was sitting out in our theater and she couldn't hear me like midway through. She was like, I can't hear a word you're saying. And I heard her clearly from out there. And I was like, okay, so I'll try to be louder next time. So I came out, hit my cue again. Hey, I'm here to pick you up. She's like, I still can't hear a word you're saying. I'm like, oh. So finally she cleared the room out, sent everybody on break or whatever, stood up on the thing to me and told me something that I never forgot. She was like, if you want people to hear what you're saying, and this is outside of theater, you have to bounce your voice off of the back wall of whatever room you're in. If you don't hit that wall and with enough sound to bounce it off of that wall, then nobody in that room is going to hear what you're saying. And in theater, that means that, if I was like speaking in my theater voice, if I was standing on a stage at a normal size theater, like an auditorium theater, then I'd be talking at this volume. Hello. This would be the volume that I'd carry my voice at if I were speaking on stage. So I do modulate down for my conversation, but it is higher than most people speak. Because I like to make sure that people don't have to go, huh? Excuse me? Say again? What'd you say? Paul, I really love the old Paul Zigo videos and genuinely believe the ones you did on the Occupy movement and American Shame were powerful and heartbreaking. Any chance of a return to that? I wouldn't even know how to make those videos now, man. I don't know. Like I've so much of my energy is focused elsewhere now that, possibly, I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like my channel now, for me to put something like that out, I'd want to put it out where most of the people that watch us would see it. Such a small subset of the people that watch, the greater show ever check out Highdeology. It's a very, there's a bunch of you here. I'd say there's probably about 1,000 people that, regularly watch Highdeology, maybe 1,300, 1,400 people that really regularly make sure they watch it. And to put something like that out here, like, I don't know. Something better to see besides the tism and shit. Tism in the chat. Thanks for the entertainment. Thanks, bro. What can you teach about improv? Improv is best practiced with a partner at first. Solo improv can be really, really daunting to practice with because you have to have a really well-developed comedic filter. A sense of timing and a sense of audience empathy needs to be developed to do solo improv. If you don't have any of those things, then the object of your empathy becomes your improvisational partner. So you partner up with at least one other person or a troupe of people, and you learn to trust their instincts and follow their creative leads, and they do the same for you. So for improvisation, it's about developing a sense of trust with that partner, and then learning to have that same amount of trust in yourself if you're going to do solo improvisation. I'm in an improv group called Einstein Simplified. Cool. Yeah. I was in a group called Blimprov in my area for a little while, and I did a lot of competitions in high school and college. At theater competitions for improvisation. So that's cool, man. It's a lot of fun, and can be really, really funny. I mean, but like I said, there's a baseline thing that has to be known for improv to work. You've got to have a sense of comedic timing. You've got to have that kind of quick mind that can immediately process information and find something funny about it. Do improv right now. Anytime you see me doing a voice or doing a character, here on Highdeology, like I did that granny rocking chair bit, I've done a bunch of them. Anytime I've done that on the show, that's improv. I mean, somebody said he's doing improv right now, and in a way that's true. I mean, this is not. I'm not trying to make a succinct improvisational performance, but doing what I'm doing right now is improvisational. So I use what I learned doing improv to do what I'm doing now. You are the partner in this, which is why I suffer so much frustration with you guys sometimes, because it feels oftentimes like your partner is, feeding you bullshit. But c'est la vie. How can you prepare for something that you can't understand? What do you mean? In improv, the answer is always yes. That's true. Well, I mean, that's not always true, but the improvisational principle rings true. You want to not shut down creative avenues in improv. So if you've got a partner that's going somewhere and they ask you a question, like, you don't want to put a hard stop to it. You don't want to end a train of thought. You want to follow it and allow it to develop and add to it as it goes. So that's true. How did you get into theater and improv? In high school, I had a teacher. I took drama as an elective because I thought it was going to be easy. I had to select an elective, and I looked at all of them. I was like, band, don't want to do that. Choir, no. And I saw drama, and I'd been in a couple of school plays in elementary school and middle school and shit. And I was always making people laugh and shit. So I figured, I'll probably ace this fucking class, and it'll be simple. The problem is that the first freshman dramatic arts at my school was a place, it was a hard elective for anybody to take. So it was not expected that you'd be a theater person going in there. And I stuck out like a sore thumb because I was good at some of the things that the teacher was assigning. And instead of just coasting like I thought I was going to, she immediately yanked me out of that class, talked to my counselor, and put me in drama 3-4 so that I could do performance drama. So I got to spend the first half of my freshman year in drama 1, quote unquote, coasting. And then the teacher was like, nope, you're good. You're coming up to performance drama. And my schedule changed, I transferred to a different English class that was on the same campus to make room on my schedule for a late period drama class. And so I was the only freshman in a class filled with juniors and seniors, all of them heavily into performance and stuff, all of them, starring in the plays and stuff. I don't know about the story. I was just so amazing at everything. No, I'm not. Like, whatever. All right. I guess I was never good at anything in my entire life and I sucked and this never happened. I'm just making all of this up to stroke my ego about something that happened fucking literally over 20 years ago. Like, no, this is what happened to me. I went into drama. I was good at it. I got pulled out of drama 1 and thrown into drama 3, 4 as a freshman. I got cast in my first play that year. It was the one I was talking about earlier, Steel Magnolias. I didn't know how to project my voice. I learned how to do it. But that's somebody. It's an answer to the question: how did you get into drama? Like, I'm not just like, so let me pontificate about all the wonderful things I did. I was a football star as well. Did I ever tell you guys about that? I was the quarterback of the football team, and I threw the most touchdowns for the Madera Coyotes that any quarterback in the history of the school has done. Yes, that's right. Paul Parkey, quarterback of the century. How did I find time to do that? While I was starring in every play and banging every hot bitch on the campus. I don't know. I don't know how I did it. I just did it. Now that's some improv. Good point, Uncle Georgie. There, for those of you that were asking for some improv, there's an example right there. There you go. Fun stuff. I work at a theater in the communication and marketing department. It's really fun and very creative environment. That's awesome, man. That's really neat. I envy you. Working in that industry would be really, really cool. I don't know that I would be a person that would be useful in the marketing department, but I kind of fucked up my opportunity to have a career, I guess, in theater to be like a paid player or whatever. I got cast after high school in a show at a dinner theater in Fresno, and they were paying. I got cast in. It was called Minnie's Boys. It's about the Marx Brothers, basically, and I was cast as Harpo Marx, and I was also working a job. My parents were really insistent that after high school that I have a job. So I was working a full-time job during the summer and trying to do this Minnie's Boys thing, and I just ended up dropping out of it. And that basically blackballs you at that theater. Like, if you get cast for a role and then end up not doing that role, then you're never going to get cast again. So it kind of sucked, but I was just overwhelmed and had to make the choice. It was like job or this, and I chose my job. But that, doing that show could have opened the door to me to work at that theater and to be a paid player there, which would have opened the door to me, to get enough experience to get paid to be in shows outside of that. Did you cancel at the last minute? No. No, I canceled very early. I canceled about maybe two rehearsals in was when I called the director and told him that I wasn't going to be able to do it. So, and I had an understudy, so somebody was able to step into that part and finish it and do it fine. So I didn't leave them like in a huge tragic lurch, but it's still not a good thing to go and You know, and I understand that. You go and try out, you do put on all the effort, you given the honor of being cast in the show, which is like, you know, the director saying, hey, with my vision, you're the best person that came in for this part, and I want to work with you on this. And you just kind of wad that up and throw it over your shoulder. So. Happens, man. A lot of people go, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Like, I don't look back and think I even made the wrong decision, you know? I had to make, like, it was just a tough spot in my life, and I had to make a hard decision, and I did the one I had to do. And how's your relationship with him? I don't have a relationship with Mendham. He and I were internet buddies back in the day, but I don't really consider that a relationship. It's kind of a facade of a relationship. So I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't know what he's up to. God, do the true Scotsman voice for the umpteenth time. There's 300 seconds to come up with something else to ask me to do. Jesus fucking Christ. When are you going to do another game stream? I don't know if I'm going to. But if I do, it'll be very sporadic and once in a while. Do you ever be a guest on DP again? Yeah, dude, right now. I'll go on it right now. Sure, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. What time's the show start? Let's do it, man. I'm pumped. I'm ready to just do it. Let's go, man. You guys finally broke me, okay? That stupid fucking question. Let's do it. Let's go. Roll the intro. What? Can you have my energy? Sure. Take my energy. It's what they want, man. Hey, everyone, welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode number... What are they at? 592. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, what's first? What usually came first? Like, the news, right? So DP Action News intro. You guys will have to close your eyes and imagine it. All right, let me see here. Let me go to CNN. Let me go to the news. All right, let's see what's going on in the world today. I'll pull a few stories. We're doing this on the fly. You guys are asking for the Drunken Peasants. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't, like, I haven't been invited on the show, and people are asking me all the time, so I guess we'll just do it. First story tonight, how Trump's secret trip to Iraq became not so secret. It was a crisp winter morning in Sheffield, England, when an amateur photographer and plane enthusiast, Alan Malloy, looked out his kitchen window and noticed a large trail in the sky. Oh shit, a video's playing. Sorry. Well, this is much like the show. Stop. Let's see here. I literally stepped out and I could see a trail coming towards me and thought, let's have a look at what's on the end of that. And then I looked in the viewfinder and thought this is worth photographing. It's not just a normal airliner. So Trump's plane, you know, people saw where it was going. His GPS was not a secret. And wow. I don't even know really what to say about this one. Let's move on to the next story. Let's see. Yeah, dude, I guess it's not good that the president's plane is, you know. Here's our next story. He once offered rides on the deportation bus. Now he's had to turn himself in on fraud charges. Oh, man, what a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. Okay, so when he ran for governor last year, Michael Williams made headlines by promising to put undocumented immigrants on his deportation bus and send them back to Mexico. Now he's making headlines again, but this time he's the one accused of wrongdoing. Williams, a state senator who saw his gubernatorial bid end with a loss of the Georgia GOP primary, turned himself in Wednesday on one count each of insurance fraud, filing a false claim report, and making a false statement. He was indicted last week. Oh, man. Oh, man. Wow, just what a total fucking hypocrite, man. It's like hold on, let me think of an analogy for this one. It's like if he was like a crusader against child sex abuse and then he got caught with a harem of 6-year-olds. It's like what even is politics these days? All right. It's time for crazy people. All right, you guys ready? You guys ready? You see it? You see it in your minds? It's there. The intro is there. Let's find out who's a crazy person we used to cover all the time. I don't know. Let me go look. Is fake Sagan still doing shit on the internet? I don't know. What about G Time? G Time Johnny or oh yeah, Corpse Midget. We'll check in on him in a sec, but let's see what G Time Johnny's doing. Check out this G Time Johnny video that's happening right here. Hold on, I'm gonna have to do a little finagling. You gotta give me a sec. I gotta fix my audio situation here so you guys can hear it too, okay? I don't want it there. I think it's the Asus that I want it to come out of. Or the ultra wide, one of the two. Nope. This one. Let's see. Okay, all right. This is a G Time Johnny video.
Hi, how are you? I felt kind of phony doing it, but I said to myself,
Oh, I said to myself, G Time's looking pretty good actually though. He's looking better than I thought he would be looking. Hold on, let me get this filter out of here so you guys can see some color. There you go.
before I even opened my mouth or even looked at the camera or anything. And because, I do it naturally. But I went through a phase in my life. That's what all these birdies are doing and everybody, the kids do it, the dogs do it. It's a natural behavior.
This guy's an idiot. You don't know that, GJ. You don't know nothing about this guy. This guy could be a performance artist, GJ. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, GJ? See, you don't know shit. Once again, GJ admits he doesn't know shit about shit, and he talks out of his ass. Thank you very much. Oh, fuck you, Scotty.
Because all the way down to yourselves. It's like, I'm the healthy soul next door. I love you so much. Well, how do you get there?
That kind of makes me feel creepy when he says he loves me. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I felt kind of creepy too. Oh, shut up, TJ. TJ, you're the creepiest motherfucker in here. Everybody's creeped out by you, TJ. Have you ever been in your room? Not only is it covered in disgusting, like, laundry, TJ, that you haven't done in, like, 6 months, was creepy enough, because who knows what kind of shit's buried in there. You got all those skulls, TJ? All that edgy bullshit on your walls, TJ? Your room looks like a serial killer lives in there. How are you going to stand in judgment of G Time Johnny, TJ? I don't know. I guess I can't.
Well, first is, if you have a less than good thought, you are less than good. Meaning that I can't even use the BAD word because it's a whole realm that doesn't.
The BAD word? What's that? Sound it out, Paul. But I don't know. Aid? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he was going. What is the BAD word? Maybe somebody will send us a Streamlab or a super chat and let us know what the BAD word is.
exist in my brain. Bad, that word, is like, no, not necessary in processing. Good, better. Well, you're right. Good, better. Good, better. Good, better.
I don't know whatever this guy's smoking. Well, shut up, CJ. Quit pausing the video, Cheetah. God. Let the man get a fucking thought out. Oh, sorry.
And so you're always resetting there. And so.
All right, I'm bored with this. Next. All right, let's see. What would be next? What's going to be next, guys? What's going to be next? What's going to be next? What's next on DP? Let's see. Who else? Gail? We could check in on Gail. Oh, is it time for a Streamlabs segment yet? Okay. Let's see. Gail. Cord. Oh, wait. We were going to look at Corpse Midget, right? We were going to check in on Corpse Midget. Are you guys, is this enjoyable? Are we having a good time yet? Is this what you wanted? Oh my God. What an insane bunch of tomfoolery. I am disgusted by this display. Yeah, me too. Major point, hopefully, to the people who are a little slow. Maybe. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's been over a year since I was on that show, and they still want me to talk about DP every time I go live, so figured I'd, you know. And people were asking for improvisation, so, you know. Feminist slam poetry. Okay, yeah, that's usually how we end things, right? So let's find some. Feminist slam poetry. Let's see. Let's go to filter and this month. Triance Monet and Bryce Banks, Unholy War, Get Lit. A.M. Pressman, Eat Your Heart Out. That one's probably good. That one's probably good. You guys want to check out A.M. Pressman, Eat Your Heart Out? Here we go. It's a button poetry.
A man walks into a bar, tells me that he has yellow fever, says he likes his girls small, pale, likes them in the palm of his hand, silk women he can fold and shove in his pocket after he's done using them. He then tells me that I don't look Asian, says that I take up too much space, says I'd look it if I lost some weight. And it's at this moment that he starts laughing. So,
Whoa.
join him.
Update and recovery. Get out of here. Sorry, technical glitches here on the show tonight.
Ha ha. Because it's only an eating disorder if it's a white girl. Ha ha. Asians are supposed to be chopstick thin, supposed to be rice paper, pale, breakable china bones. So I prep myself for a punchline. Put jasmine oil behind my ears whenever I wanted to eat. Minyak kaya puti on my screaming empty stomach, bathed in milk and rose petals. Look at me, marinating myself at home as I starve. Just
Hot.
make my body look pretty in your teeth.
In your teeth? I don't want to put your body in my teeth.
That's the irony of it all, isn't it? My doctor wasn't laughing when he told me that my heart rate dropped below 40 beats per minute. So I did more math. More than twice as likely to have a heart palpitation. Heart palpitations will occur 1 to 3.
Okay, I'm done. I can't hang. I can't do anymore. Can't do anymore. Tapping out on that one. Holy shit. I can't deal with the heart palpitations. I don't want to hear about her heart palpitations all night. Does Paul know we post comments here? Nope. Never was aware of that. Yours is the first one I ever saw. Never do that again. That was what I was hoping to do a year ago when I left the show. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I guess you got to dip your toe back in every once in a while, you know? Like I said, me going on the show, probably not going to happen. But, you know, whatever. I remember the structure. I could do a passable impersonation of everybody that was on the show during that time. Maybe she should do some exercise and get that heart rate up. I'm betting she's pretty sedentary. I don't know. She doesn't look like she's that out of shape. Like, she's not huge. She's not, I don't know, she's a little thick. About the guy in the video you looked at before this one, wasn't that hobo-looking motherfucker that did a slam poem? I don't know. I don't know. There was a time I loved watching DP, but having you guys move on to DFF is awesome. I hope you can look back at DP with good nostalgia. I always do. Like, I'll always love that show in some way, shape, or form. You know? I was way too into it, way too on it, way too committed to it for too long to, like, hate the show. So, I look back on it with, I had a lot of laughs on that show and made a lot of people laugh on that show. So that's always going to be a good thing. I was getting bored of it right around when you guys left. Oh, yeah. So were we. I mean, all good things come to an end. Yep. Every show that's ever existed has had a first and last episode, so it happens. What are you going to do? My favorite poem is still The Hashish Eater by Clark Ashton Smith. Good for you, bro. DP was awesome, but I'm glad you are doing something. Your Glade plugin that I'm doing something different. Cool. Yeah, he's Glade. I'm Glade. I am glad you do something different. Polzigo, I like the DP, but I am glad that you have done something different. I'm glad that you have found something that warms your heart. I'm glad that you found something that engages your mind, and I'm glad that you enjoy what you do. Cool. Thanks, bro. I'm glad that you're here. Gaze upon my wisdom sacks. Have you seen my wisdom sacks, honey?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to play with them? Do you want to come finger my wisdom sacks?
Like smart and stuff?
Yeah, they're wisdom sacks. They're filled with wisdom.
Alright.
Come over here. And I'll let you finger them.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right this very second.
Yeah, come on.
Alright, where?
They're right here. Finger my wisdom sack. Yeah. Take it like and flop it a little bit. Yeah, pinch it. See it? And then take your finger and like put it underneath and like let it flop. Yeah. Flop the wisdom sack. It's good, right?
I don't know.
Are you glad for my wisdom sakes? You get those from frowning too much? Okay. Good. I'm glad people can look at me and say, hey, this is not a happy dude that I'm going to walk up to and get a high five from. I'll stay away from this guy and his wisdom sacks. This guy's got some deep wisdom sacks, man. Give him a wide berth. I'm glad. I'm glad for you. Are you glad for me? I'm oh so glad, don't you see? They're wholesome and jolly sacks. They are. Ashley, I think, she didn't say as much,
What?
but I think that she was kind of turned on by fingering my wisdom sacks. I think she retired to her room to rub one out.
Yeah? You think? You think that's what happened?
I think flopping my wisdom sacks got the plumbing down there going, dude. And she's like, she can't stop thinking about my wisdom sacks now. In fact, that now she realizes is what attracted her to me in the first place and all along. She saw my giant, pendulous, floppy, supple wisdom sacks. And she's just now realized her life's dream of grabbing hold of them and fingering them with all her might.
Not wrong.
Ladies, please, calm down. She's the only one that gets to finger my wisdom sacks, okay? And me. I get to do whatever I want with them because they're mine. Let's do some plastic surgery. Let's do some Paul stick surgery. You ready? So my first area of problem, and this is the one that I probably notice more, is this up here, right? So I've got a lot of like, I don't know what they call these, right? Crow's feet or whatever the fuck they are, just forehead wrinkles. So I could get like that smoothed out probably. They could probably like cut right up here and be like, no. Okay. So that's like a forehead tuck. That's not bad. You know, that would take off a few years, right? Am I wrong? Think they could remove your birthmark? Yeah, they probably could. They probably could do like some crazy like grafting or bleaching or something of my skin here to lessen my birthing scar. But yeah, okay, so they pull this back. That takes off like 5 years, right? Okay. Then we got the under eye bags, right? These here. You got to get rid of those. So they do that by like cutting over here, right? And like, how do they do that? Like this? Like, like, like that? Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. That took off another 5 years, didn't it? Then we got to get rid of those too. So they'd have to pull me back like right here, probably. Like this. Hi, guys. I'm Paul Zigo, but I'm also not anymore. I'm young Zigo. Hello. How are you? I'm 20 years younger. What do you think? I could do it. I could start a GoFundMe right now for Paul stick surgery. I need it. I need to get rid of these wisdom sacks, get rid of this wrinkly ass forehead, some eye work done. You know what I mean? What do you think? You'll end up with a terrifying, unexpressive face. Yeah, but it'll be a young looking, terrifying, unexpressive face. Right? Right? I want to age ungracefully. think I'm doing a good job of that. I'll kick off the surgery fund. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, $20 down. Only like, I don't know, probably like 50,000 to go. I think 50,000 and 20 would probably pay for everything I just did. "99% of the time, plastic surgery is a mistake." That's probably true. I'm not actually going to do it. I do think it is weird, though, what, like, just a little bit of, like, tucking and nipping and shit can do to your countenance, you know what I mean? I see why people do it, I can say. I can see why, like, people go in and have those things done when they've got enough money to do it. Because it really does give you the illusion of a slightly more youthful appearance and stuff. I don't really, like, I personally don't care about that. I relish looking like an old man. Because I felt like one for about 10 years now, so I want the outward appearance to reflect the inward one, and I think that's happening as I get old, so good. Botox. Well, I try to hide aging. Everyone ages. I mean, it's psychology, right? People, and you know, like I see what's happening to my body and my face and stuff as I age, and you know, I can see it being scary. It is a little bit. It's a visual representation of time passing, but I don't know. I don't really care. Some people can't stand to see their youthful beauty as they perceive it leave them. You know, they can't stand to see themselves transitioning from a young person to a middle-aged person and from a middle-aged person to an old person. You know, that's never been a problem for me. I've always kind of relished it, and I've always looked older than I am. When I was in 6th grade, people thought I was in high school. When I was in high school, I used to run in, well, maybe not really early on in high school, but after I had the growth spurt my sophomore summer into junior year, I used to have people come up to me and ask me if I was, you know, working at this place or whatever. I'd be like, no, I'm 14 in school. And that just continued on. At 18, when I started working, people, when I got hired, they assumed I was in my mid-20s or something, late 20s. You look appropriate age now. Yeah, I guess finally I look the age I should. But I hear people that think I'm way older than I am. So maybe I look older than I think I do, even to today. I tell people I'm 38, and some people go like, wow, you're old. And some people go like, holy shit, dude, I thought you were like 48. Like, oh. Does everyone have dark spots under their eyes, or is my circle just unhealthy? Some people have genetically, like they're just predisposed genetically to having dark circles. Ashley's got, you know, like kind of the dark circles under her eye, and that it runs in her family. So yeah, and other people get it as a consequence of stress and aging. So I've always looked 5 years younger than I am, and it's awarded me never getting a raise from minimum wage and never getting a date. Cool. Well, eventually, though, that'll be a boon, because, like, at 25, you'll look like a young 20-year-old, you know? Then the chicks will be like, damn, all the cougars. You see, you're just fishing in the wrong pond, my friend. You got to go to cougar bars and cougar hangouts and stuff. You know, they don't go to normal clubs. You got to go to cougar places. You got to find those cougar spots. because that's what they're looking for, man. You can play to the strength of that shit. See, the jungle, yeah, like wine bars, exactly. See, somebody in here knows what I'm talking about. Like you don't go to like, boom, boom, boom. You don't go to the big. That's not a cougar bar. There might be a cougar or two in there, but it's not going to be prime pickings. You go to wine bars. You go to like the lower key. That's where you meet the cougars, dude. You got to dress sharp and look young. That's all you got to do. I had problems with both of those, so I never was, surfed the cougar bars, but let's just say I had a friend who did. A very close friend who shared very, very intimate details of his cougar conquests with me. Wine bars, boring. That's the point, idiot. What a fucking moron. The point is you go to the boring-ass wine bar because at the end of it you get pussy. Do I need to spell it out to you, dude? I'm not going to go there because it's boring. No shit. The point is you are the fun. Exactly. Thank you. There's like 3 people in here with a brain in their fucking skull. Exactly. They go to the boring place because they want your young, looking 5 years younger than you really are ass to walk in there and provide the entertainment for the night. It's a win-win. Not my thing. Well, that's fine. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how this game works. Was it Pimp Monk? In Sweden, there's a national bar chain called Rockstar, and that's where you go if you want to pick up some cougar poon. Yeah, see? Every area has its places, Hey, Paul, I'm close to getting my first girlfriend, but it makes me feel weird, and I'm finding out I prefer being alone. What do I do? Wait a minute. Let me unpack this comment for a minute. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to read that again. Hi, Paul. I'm close to getting my first girlfriend, but it makes me feel weird, and I'm finding out I prefer being alone. What do I do? You're close to getting your first girlfriend? What does that mean? Troll comment, you think? You think, bro? Come on, buddy. You know how this game works here? Why am I always explaining the rule of the game to you guys? Is that what old people do? Paul, how did it feel to be molested by your uncle? George Costanza, you salty dog, you. Paul has got the game, lads. I never said that. I think he means he likes a girl and another girl likes him, but he feels like he'd rather be alone. I get that part, but I just don't understand, like, I'm about to get my first girlfriend. Because I don't know, man. That's never in the bag till it's in the bag. So how do you exist in a state where you feel like you're about to get a girlfriend? You don't know, you know what I mean? He's very optimistic. Maybe so. Maybe so. I think he's friend-zoned hard, and she held hands with him, and he thinks that means that they're about to go out and go steady. Do you think that's what's going on here? Because that has happened to me, bros. Let me just tell you, do not mistake random acts of kind of intimate contact with the desire for a girl to be your girlfriend. Don't make that mistake. Maybe they've discussed it. So how did that go, though? Did they go like, I think it's time for us to sit down and discuss the very near eventuality that we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend? How do you feel about that? Soon. Is that how that went down? Like, how do you have that? See, that's why I'm trying to unpack this. Because I'm trying to figure out what the mindset of I'm about to get my first girlfriend. Because I don't know. I remember before I had my first girlfriend, and I was. You think it's wishful thinking? It might be. It might be. Am I dream killing here? He worded that comment very poorly. Dude, the friend zone sucks, man. But it's a self-imposed prison. It's a prison that you put yourself in. You know, like there's a lot of dudes they end up being incels and MRAs. Yeah, MRAs. I thought I almost said MREs. I guess that shows you where my head is. MRAs. Um, like you can't look at that interplay and go like, oh man, women are fucking evil and they suck and they're manipulative and shit. Like I took it the other direction. Like what I learned is that wow, I could have been out of that anytime I wanted to. And so I don't do the friend zone thing. Nah. If I get that vibe off of a chick, I immediately turn on a heel and go, thank you for playing. See ya. Most of the time. Being friend zoned is a choice. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everything's a choice when it comes to like social transactions. So if you're being friend zoned by a chick, what she's saying to you is, I want something from, here's what I want from you. Here's what the chick is saying. She's saying, I want pseudo intimacy from you. I want the intimate benefits of a boyfriend up to a point. I want access to you in the way I would have access to a boyfriend in terms of talking and talking about my feelings and contact and all of that. But outwardly, I don't want to be your girlfriend and will act weird if you ever see me with another dude and get jealous, because you shouldn't be jealous because we're just friends. That's the transaction. That's what she's handing you on a platter. She's going like, we can have this kind of burgeoning intimacy, but nothing else. And it's you that goes, okay, and follows her around. Why were you talking to Johnny over by the football bleachers and holding hands? And she's like, we're just friends, Paul. I've told you this. I'm a friend. So it's like, oh shit. You did it to yourself, dude. I mean, like, I don't know what else to say to you. This has happened to him before? Yes, I just got done saying that. I've been there. You know, my whole high school experience was in the friend zone. It sucked, man. Fuck that shit. I served my term in the zone, and let me tell you what, man, it's true what they say. Those of you that are in the zone, it is true what they say. You may have heard rumors that the edge of the friend zone is like an electric fence that'll zap you, but there's nothing there. If you walk out of there, it's just the world out there, bro. I'm telling you, like, spread the word in the zone. Anybody still living in the zone, you can just leave. That was a hard one for me to learn. So it's you know, take that straight from the wisdom sacks. I just squirted a little wisdom on all of you with that one. What are the signs if someone likes you? I had this person ask if I loved them, and I said no, and they said okay. Is that a sign? Get out of here. The girl I was in love with through high school, who is now marrying a redneck, uglier and fatter than me. See? She traded down, dude. She could have had an ugly, fat redneck, but instead she got an uglier, fatter redneck. You know, she waited too long. She waited too long for that perfect mate to come along, and, you know, by the time she started to show some age on her, it's like she had to take whatever redneck she could get, you know. C'est la vie. What are you going to do? Who's the most terrifying serial killer you've ever heard of and why? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't categorize things into the most and least, this or that, so. Way over analyzing, use Tinder. Okay. Hey, Paul, I'm sorry for getting for getting memed on. Wait a minute. Did you get memed on, or was it I, sir, that got memed on? Yeah, all of this shit though. I don't know. I don't even know what the weird layer of social media must add to the confusion of that time though. Like being in high school and being friend zoned. Like, what if you were like, because you would it would always happen. Like, you'd see her being friendly with another dude, and you'd get all jealous and shit, and you'd talk to her about it, and she'd be like, I'm not your girlfriend. I talk to whoever I want to, and if I want to hold hands, I'll do it." And you're like, "All right. If I want to blow a guy, I'll do it." Okay, dude, it sucks. But what if added to that was this social media influence of like, now you can see her liking everything, and you can see all the people that are friends with her, and you can see all the dudes she follows on Instagram and all that crazy shit. You're like, thank Gord I grew up in the 90s. Oh, no, no, dude. The last time it was cool to be a kid. the last the last time. The only women on Tinder are those looking for a perfect long-term relationship or friends. Who goes on Tinder looking for a friend? Well, I mean, I guess I can understand it. If you don't meet a lot of people, you get. But isn't Tinder for dating? Like, I thought the whole point of it was to hook up and fuck, right? Tinder for a friend. Tinder's for the nut. That's all. That's what I always thought. I've never used it, so I don't know nothing about it. Is it weird that after every breakup it didn't hurt as much as the last time it happened? No, that's just life. I mean, like you have your first real big giant breakup is like crushing. It's like it's like feels like your guts are being ripped out, and every breakup feels that way. But no subsequent breakup is as hard as that first one. It's like you've been there. Now you know. Now you know the wave of sorrow that's coming, so you can kind of brace yourself against it. You know some tactics to get around it. You know how to circumvent it a little bit. Divorce is a life reset button. I know it was for me, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's that way for most people that go through it. Came across a Tinder profile for inviting people to church. I always think of that. There's like this show, I don't, where there's this kid. I think his name is Stewie or something. He's like a 32-year-old dude that's living in his mom's basement, and he's got all these T-shirts that have his name on them. He's had them made, like, you know, come get a hug from Stewie, and or like, yeah, dude. And his mom is totally like trying to get him laid and stuff. So they go out to bars, and his mom is his like wing. She says she's a wing mom. Skippy, that's the one. Skippy, yeah. It's not Stewie, it was Skippy. And he's got like, "I kissed Skippy" or whatever. And he'll take like those T-shirts and he'll be like, "Hey," he'll go to parties with those T-shirts and he'll hold them up to girls and they'll be like, "Oh, that's cute. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Can I have it?" And he'll be like, "Well, you gotta kiss me first, like to get the "I Kiss Skippy" T-shirt." And it's like, oh boy. Really uncomfortable. Just really, really uncomfortable. That's how he thinks it works out. Like what he knows about romance, he learned from watching like Sleeping Beauty or whatever as a kid. Like that's when love begins, is when you just kiss a girl and then love happens. And it's like, wait, doesn't that start happening way before you kiss a person? Not to Skippy. To Skippy, he's going to hold up a t-shirt to a girl and bribe her into a weird virgin kiss with him that's going to lead to a lifetime of fulfillment and sexual pleasure and enjoyment and normalcy. And it's just like, why doesn't his mom, if she cares about Skippy, number one, take the money she's spending to support his ass and buy him all these t-shirts and shit and buy him a little studio apartment so he doesn't live with his mom? Like if she really wants to help the dude out, get him a studio apartment so he has a place to go that isn't with his mom. Take all of those t-shirts that you helped make him, I'm sure, because she had a role in this shit. Take all of that shit, throw it in a fucking furnace somewhere, and make him watch them burn to really have it set into his mind that, like, holy shit, that part of me is over. And then tell him to go out and meet girls and talk to them. Like if she cares about him, because like there's never gonna be he's not gonna land abroad taking those shirts to parties and trying to like he's a bull and like he's a matador and they're the bull, you know, he's trying to entice them into his arms with a t-shirt. If his mom cared about him, she wouldn't call herself Wing Mom. Yeah, dude. I'm the Wing Mom, dude. And she wears a shirt that says Wing Mom or Skippy's mom on it when they go out and shit. And it's like, first of all, dump Skippy. His name is not Skippy. What is Skippy short for? What is Skippy short for? Skipper? Really? Every version of that name sucks. Skippy, Skip, Skipper. It's got to go. Whatever his middle name is. If his middle name is not like Eugene or something that's just as bad or worse, like if he's got like a normal middle name, like if it's Skipper Thomas Blovenfart or whatever his last name is, then he just goes by Thomas. You know, or Tom or Tommy or something. Dump the Skippy immediately, because Skipperino. Scipio was a Roman generally. Well, you're spelling it wrong, though. It wasn't spelled Skippio. It was like SCC. It was one of those Sicipios. Paul, you should be a cult leader. I would worship you. Well, that's the plan. That's my retirement plan. A lot of people are putting money into 401ks and shit. I'm not doing any of that. My plan is to get old and wise looking enough to parlay my weird speaking ability to gather a group of people around that are willing to pool their resources and leave their lives and sell everything they own to get us a compound so that we can, start building our cult. I think that's a pretty good way to go. I've got a lot of plans about it already. So make it a Patreon goal. Yeah. 45,000 patrons. Paul will start a cult. Will it be a suicide cult? Well, that depends on the government, doesn't it? Think about that. That depends on the government, doesn't it? That ain't up to me. They let us go about our business. They let us teach our teachings and recruit our members and do whatever we want in our little cult world. I don't think suicide cult will ever come into it, but they want to get crazy. Well, we're already crazy. We're a cult. You see? You see how that works? It's perfect. It's a perfect ecosystem. The Parkey Foundation. Yeah, Parkey won't be anywhere on it. The Cult of Ego, or the I like the People of Salt. I like that one. People of the Salt. Sounds good. Salt of the Earth. I like it. Start a commune. That's what I'm talking about, man. What do you think I'm talking about here? Yeah. I'm gonna get a cult together. I'm gonna start like all these other cult leaders did. All these guys, Marshall Applewhite, fucking Jim, Jim Jones. They all started with as dudes that were just going out and speaking to people, and they gathered followers. Well, what do you think I'm doing here? Do you not see? What do you mean you would join? You're already in it. Fuck, man. Do I got to spell it out? You're already in it. You're already a member of the cult. This is the beginning. This is the genesis. I'm in the recruiting phase of my cult. I'm building my cult as we speak. I'm slowly but surely infiltrating the minds of younger people who are going to grow up to revere me, even though I'm speaking total nonsense. And then by the time I get old and wise looking enough to pull off a look, you guys are going to have jobs and lives and shit. And I'm going to come to you and I'm going to be like, fuck this society. If the nukes aren't going to fall, then we need to separate ourselves from it. Come with me. Come with me, children of the salt. Come, leave behind the drudgery of this life that you built that isn't what you expected it to be. I know, looking into all of your eyes when you first started listening to me. Seen some of your names for many years here. You were young, impetuous, didn't know what you wanted to do with your lives, but you came up with a plan, didn't you? You listened all the while to me telling you that there is no plan. But you came up with a little plan, didn't you? And now, where are you? Sad, bored, horny, looking at a wife that you no longer love, looking at a life that was never yours to begin with. It's time, my children. It's time to walk away from all of this. This shitty game with shitty rules. Come, children of the salt. Come with me. I will take care of you. I will give you the warmth that you lack in this life. See? The writing's on the wall, guys. I mean, come on. You have your retirement plan. I've got mine. Okay? Won't you feel uncomfortable being the only fat person in the commune? Who says I'm going to be the only fat person in the commune? I'm not planning on having a weight limit to be in the commune. All are welcome, as long as they're willing to be children of the salt. All are welcome. None are denied entry. All may bring their goods, their services, their hands, and their minds to the fore to build something new. You see? It's your favorite 90s drink, Ecto Cooler. Is that an 80s drink? I don't think so. Can we all just camp out in a tent outside Paul's house? I mean, that time will come. That'll be the beginnings. As I speak, slowly but surely, depending on where I am, I will reveal more and more to you of my exact location. And eventually, the true believers among you will come, will make the pilgrimage. And when that starts to happen, that is like the trigger in my mind that it's time. It's time. If these are willing to come with no promise of anything, only to just bask in my presence, then there are more out there that would be willing to build something with me. Yes, you see? Of course, I am the one that delivers all the rules and regulations. I'm the one that decides the structure of our new society. But by the time that it comes time for us to walk away and make that society, none of you will question that. Some of you still do now, but that's because we're in the early days. I mean, Jim Jones was heckled and derided in his job, faced great adversity from the government and the public at large in doing what he was doing. You know? So did Marshall Applewhite. So did fucking David Koresh. There will be a time when there will be great consternation against me. There will be an uprising amongst those followers, and a bunch of you will walk away. But that's all part of the purification process. That's all part of getting rid of minds that are too closed to walk into the wilderness and to build what comes next with me. Those of you that are true believers will remain, and from that distilled group, we will build more. You see? Fire walk with me, indeed. Where will the compound be? I don't know. I've been scouting locations for quite some time now. I have some ideas, although it's a choice that's very important, and I think it's also going to be a choice that I can't really make altogether too quickly. I can't really decide. It's got to be something that comes about organically. So when the time comes, I'll know. I'll lead you there. Applewhite just told them it was a scam outright. The followers didn't believe it, and to some extent forced Applewhite to continue to run the cult after T's death. That's the point. I'm sitting here and telling you all my plans, and yet it will still play out the way that I say it. Well, in fact, to those of you that are already receptive to my programming, the fact that I outright admit what I'm doing is exploitative lends me a sense of credibility that other people don't have. It's like a crowbar in your mind, pries open parts of your brain that I usually wouldn't have access to. It's an empathy game, you see. It's one tactic that you can use when you're trying to affect the mass mind. Another is to just project constant authority, and I do that as well. I will alternately speak with a very authoritative voice on things that, quite frankly, I don't know much about, but that doesn't matter. It's the tone of my voice and the presentation of what I'm saying that matters. That is what cooks the inside of your brain. That's what lodges itself there. Not what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it. And then I will be very self-critical and very bald-faced and very open about what I'm doing. And that lends a sense of authenticity and credibility, which pries its way even further into your brains. I've been doing it for months and months and months, well, years now, I guess, here on this show. See, I told you guys Paul planned this to a T. I mean, what do you think I'm doing here? Gaining a following. Has there ever been a cult leader that openly told everyone they were exploiting them? Yes. Marshall Applewhite Marshall Applewhite, the cult was already established at the point he started saying it, but somebody in the chat talked about it after T's death, the death of his female counterpart in the cult. He basically told them, like, none of this is true. It's all bullshit. It's all exploitative. And they were just like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit, Doe. We know this is true. You're just testing us. You have concubines in your cult? I mean, I won't call them concubines, and there certainly won't be a gender discrepancy in that, but there will be people who are in the sexual salty services, yes. That's what it'll be called, the SSS. And they will be there to tame my insatiable hunger for orgasms. It never ends. And in order for my mind to work clearly and for the words to flow off of my pen and into sermon form so that you can learn to rid yourself of this life's silly trappings, the sexual salty services must make sure that my balls are forever empty. It's one of the most important parts of the cult, and it's one of the most comes with some of the most positions of honor in the cult. The sexual salty services, yes. Being behind a gun is what we do, boss. There's no room for angels in our heaven. That's true. You really like thinking about this, don't you? Yes, I do. There's an element of truth in every good joke, and let's just say that there is a strong element of truth in this. I have long fantasized about being at the head of a congregation of people who believe every fucking word that comes out of my mouth. And I've been fascinated with people who have taken that path in life. So if that isn't obvious in this little riff, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Are you going to allow us to use drugs in the cult? Drugs are going to be an integral part of life in the cult, yes. Don't worry about that. But that may also be our downfall, too. It may be what brings the government pigs down on us and turns us into a suicide cult. You never know. Your aunt was honestly part of a cult in Sweden about 30 years ago. Cool. I mean, probably not so cool for her, but cool for the cult leader. Your cult does not sound bad, though. It sounds quite like how I'd like heaven to be. Heaven to you is endlessly serving my perverse sexual desires. Damn. Well, you'll have a strong position in the cult, then, my friend. Your life's dream is my life's work. Your cult does not sound bad, said no cultist ever. Well, see, people are too aware of cults now, so you got to be open about it. You got to be like, yeah, we're a cult. So, what are you going to do about it? Will TJ be the cult slut? Unfortunately, TJ will not be in this cult. Nor will Scotty, nor will anybody that they know. They're all of too strong a mind to be in my cult. TJ being in my cult would be like inviting Prince Machiavelli into your fucking war room to take a look at your maps before the battle. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be dumb. That would just be ignorant of me to do. You don't bring poison seeds like that into your cult. I'm not looking for strong personalities. I'm looking for weak ones. How does one get into your cult? Number one, you be a weak personality, a person that is desperate for guidance. And there's nothing wrong with being a weak personality. It just means that you're a person that needs to be guided. So you have a personality where you want someone to fill your mind and your life with things and tell you how to live it. You've got to have that. That's number one. Number two, you've got to like my particular brand of bullshit. You know, because you're going to be hearing it a lot. So you've got to personally feel some connection to the type of shit that I talk. And number three, you've got to be willing to monetarily contribute to the continued existence of the cult, at least initially, by selling off everything you own and handing your money over to the cult so that we can, you know, keep building. Those are the requirements for entry. I know you used to work in a school district, Paul. Do you ever have any advice for aspiring teachers? Not really. I was never a teacher. I watched a lot of teachers, but you know what? It was a lot of years ago. It's been close to, I don't know, man, how long it's been. It's been 10 years since I worked that job, so I don't even know what the job is like anymore. Any anecdotes that I could give you about how teachers operated back then and what I saw as different between good teachers and bad teachers would be pretty useless now, because dim days is over. Well, I guess you actually don't want me in the cult unless you like a deceptive person who likes to share in your power. You'd be my Goebbels. Yeah. See, that's the problem, though. That's one of the reasons why TJ's not going to be in the cult. It's like Ashley's going to be in the cult, but she's going to be in a position of power in the cult. She's the same type of person, so she's going to be on the same level, and that will be the only power sharing that I do in the cult. Will be with her. Everybody else is subservient to our whims, and that's how I keep it close. That's, you know, having a TJ in the cult, having a Scotty or a Taylor or a Chelsea in the cult is like asking for a strong personality that's going to rise up and fucking fracture my cult. We don't want mutiny. You know, and that TJ would immediately begin planning mutiny if he joined my cult. Like, TJ would not join my cult unless his desire in joining it would be to subvert me totally and put himself at the head of the cult. So there's just no way, you know. There's no way. TJ will start his own cult and destroy your cult. That's fine. Hey, I welcome it. I welcome it. You know, a good piece of competition will allow more impetus for my cult to grow in his. You know, there's room for more than one cult. You know, it doesn't have to be competitive that way. Although I don't think TJ has the same dream. I don't think TJ wants to be a full-blown, let's move to a compound cult leader. But if he does, like I said, I welcome it. That would be the problem. Like, I don't know, dude. Critiquing TJ as a cult leader, my problem would be TJ, number one, has a low tolerance for bullshit, and that can't, to the point where he'll just walk away from it, and that can't be a cult leader. A cult leader, I have a low tolerance for bullshit, but my response to it is to sit down and figure it out and to empathize as much as I need to get the bullshit solved. That's the mind of a cult leader. So TJ would have to cultivate that in himself. You know, a person that's willing to sit down and deal with the fucking bullshit and have it come pouring in every day and deal with the kind of emotional strings that come with living with a giant group of people and mediate all of the weird little disagreements that come between them, but do so in a way that's not going to just have people packing their fucking bags and leaving. You know what I mean? You have to combine your totalitarianism and your authoritarianism with a strong undercurrent of empathy and care. And if you don't, then your cult walks away from you. And I think that if TJ were to start a cult, that would be where he struggled the hardest and the most, would be in projecting that constant aura of, I care about you. You are my flock. You are not serving me. You are serving one another, and I am serving you. Servant leadership, have you ever heard that? That's a big Christian concept, but there's some truth in it when it comes to cults, obviously. Servant leadership. What would your cult be called or based around? I mean, we talked about Children of the Salt. I don't know exactly what it's going to be called. What would it be based around? Ultimately, I think that's what I'm talking about, serving my whim, satisfying my ego. What is the hook? I think the hook is going to be the sickness of society, people's malaise, that malaise that you hit when you finally attain what you want. You have the white picket fence, you've got the job, you got the wife, but you don't have fulfillment. Scoop. Come with me. The end is nigh anyway. The nukes are gonna fly. Society is coming apart at the seams. The economy is mere days away from a total implosion. And it will be the people that saw it coming and moved out that will build the world to come. Come, build that world with me. Yes? What type of ceremonial garb are we talking here? Comfort. 80s and 90s comfort is what we're going to be shooting for. Big, baggy, comfortable track suits, comfortable sweatpants, zip up hoodies are going to be a must. Beanies. Everybody will be issued a beanie, and this will be your holy head covering that you have to keep on all the time. It'll be good for people that are shy about being bald. You know what I mean? Because that won't matter in our cult anyway. But this will be a way, Yeah, no, I don't know about Nikes, just chill shoes, you know what I mean? I don't think we're going to have like an official shoe, but we're going to have like a comfy aesthetic, you know what I mean? Comfy 90s stoner aesthetic. Chilling in our fucking hoodies and our baggy ass pants and our big oversized t-shirts and a beanie. A special beanie that was given directly to you by the Lord of Salt that you protect with everything that you have and you wear in public always as an expression of your commitment. This will be the beanie that I wear. What if you lose your beanie? Oh, that is not something that you're going to want to do, my friend. Losing your beanie is akin to losing your soul. It's akin to losing your life and your humanity. It's akin to admitting that you care about the things that the people outside of this cult care about to such an extent that you took your mind off of that beanie. You took your mind off of what we are building here for so long that you allowed it to walk away. And whether it was stolen from you by guile or whether it was just lost by mishap or happenstance on your part, carelessness, that doesn't matter. The particulars don't matter. What matters is that your mind was elsewhere. Your mind was out there in the world, in the dead world, the world that will soon be a smoldering nuclear husk. That's where your brain was. And don't deny it, because nobody ever comes to me saying, I lost my beanie, without that being the truth. If that's not the truth, then you look me right in the eye and you tell me that's not the truth. Tell me that you didn't take your mind off that beanie and think about that outside world, and that's why you're coming to me asking for another beanie. If you're willing to look me in the eye and admit that, then I will give you another beanie. But if you're going to lie to me and tell me that it wasn't because your brain was focused on that outside world that's already a bombed out, irradiated husk, and you know this, oh, I miss my family, I miss my dog, I miss my house, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Those were the thoughts going through your head, and that's why your beanie left. If you're willing to admit that to me, look me right in the eyes without blinking and tell me that, I will give you another beanie. But if not, you can walk out of here with your head uncovered and in shame. Back to that world that you care so much about, to catch a bomb. How about that? Can we kidnap people and use them as slaves for labor? The time will come where that may be something that we have to talk about. We are an enclave of people that will survive the coming nuclear disaster because we have created this beautiful farm here that we live on. But we cannot underestimate other folks. We're not the only enclave. We are the only enclave that has the truth. But there are other enclaves out there, and after the bombs fall, resources will be scarce, and some of them will have not prepared as well as we have, and they will come for what we have. And we must be prepared. We must be prepared to drive them away. They're trying to extinguish the light. They come with buckets of water to try and throw torches on the light that burns in this compound. So we have to prepare for that. We have to prepare for that, folks. It's not something that you're going to hear me preach about altogether too often, because the time for that is not yet here. The bombs have not yet fallen. The wasteland has not yet taken shape. But when that time comes, brothers and sisters, we will be prepared. You must trust me on that. How big will it be? As big as our commitment allows it to be. It will be forever growing. We will be forever adding to it. As more come and more resources come and more able hands and able minds work on this project we have here, it will get larger. It will be as big as it can be. One day, through the grace of our hard work and our service to these ideals to make something better than what came before, not focused on silly religious ideals or silly corporatist ideals, something new, something human. Through our hard work, through the sweat of our brow, through walking through the fires of persecution, our compound may be worldwide. And in fact, that is the goal. That is the goal. We're talking about Fallout DLC. Yeah, kinda. Can we make up our own language? Oh, we certainly will, but I'm already doing that too. You guys have heard the word floobity? I say it a lot. Floobity doobity doo, floobity flobbity floo. That's not just bullshit. That's all going to become very important when it comes time for us to walk away. Not even lying, I'm starting to be convinced. See, I told you. I'm telling you. Everything is psychology. Very, very smart person once told me that. And I don't know that I believed him at the time, but in the intervening years since he told me that, I think I've come to believe that 100%. Everything is psychology. Think about that. I think it's true. Whee! Will there be Chinese food? Sure. Why not? Why not? Fun to talk about, fun to think about, fun to muse about. But it's not going to happen, guys. It'll never happen. It's just a distant dream. Just another drug-fueled musing, I suppose. Right? Right? Mayonnaise psychology, yep. I'm on enough drugs to be convinced. That's what I'm hoping. All right, Coleman. Fair enough. Coleman will be a lieutenant. Not a lieutenant, a lieutenant. So you're a god now? Absolutely not. I'm just a man. That's a sentiment that unfortunately I've had to answer so many times now, but it's important for me to drive this home every time. You, sir, are not the first one that's come to me and accused me of this. There are no gods. And to be quite frank with you, sir, there's no such thing as a leader. In fact, if you'd like to come up here to the podium and take ownership of these people's future, you're welcome to it, sir. The floor is yours. I'm just a man. I'm just a man. Just like you
are just a man. Just like she is just a woman. Just like they are a them. So if any of you want to stand up tonight and stand up at this podium and take ownership of this thing, why then let's do it. I'm willing to sit where you're sitting. I'm willing to follow. Because there are no leaders and there are no followers. There are only people that are oriented in the correct direction and people that are walking backwards. In my time standing at this podium, I've done nothing but try and lead all of you forward. And I think looking around at this little compound that we have that's feeding us and sheltering us all is evidence of that leadership. But sir, if you want to stand up here and do it, I won't stand in your way. I will not. That's almost word for word what Jim Jones said to his followers when they started to question, eerily similar. Well, I said earlier that I'm a student of Jim Jones and Marshall Applewhite, and I'm not worshiping at their altar, but I'm a student of their philosophy and their tactic. The world calls for salt, and we answered, no greater good, just cause, yeah. Peyote? I don't know, dude. I've never tried peyote. What are you going to call the call? I don't know yet. Can you imagine if Heaven's Gates ideology was true? It'd be a fun movie to make. It'd be a cool movie. Like, what if you made a movie about Heaven's Gate, right? And you kind of did the Kevin Smith and Red State thing, where you do it kind of like a documentary and a dramatic expression of what happened in that cult. You cast it and you make it like, for the most of the movie, people think they're looking at this really intimate examination of a cult. And then at the very end, on the day that it's supposed to happen, when we're all expecting nothing to happen, fucking aliens show up, and it just turns into like the last 20 minutes of the movie are this crazy like aliens devastating the world and putting a shield over Marshall Applewhite and his followers and allowing them to look around and watch as they just turn the world into a cinder, and then the movie just ends. Roll credits, you're like, whoa. Then make a sequel. Yeah, well, Marshall Applewhite and all the weirdos in the Heaven's Gate cult are the last remaining representatives of humanity. They have to navigate the complex political terrain of alien politics and shit, meet all the heads of all the different alien species and represent our species. Try and argue for why our species should be preserved and why, the few of us that are left shouldn't be snuffed out. Be like, oh, that'd be a cool sequel. Do you kill people who try to leave? Absolutely not. No. Unless the government forces my hand. No. That once again is an eventuality that I don't like talking about because, it just means that the government has forced me into something. And quite frankly, I hope that it never happens, and let us not speak of it ever again. Yes? Sounds like a franchise. Looking a bit pale there, Paul. Yeah, I've got a weird filter on. You want me to look like red and blotchy? Here you go. That better for you? In living color. That's called Dawn. Glow. This one does not make me glow. It makes me look like a corpse. Crush. Ooh. This one's not bad, actually. Let's leave it on Crush for a while. Crush. Does this make you have a crush on me now? Look at it. You already look crushed. I am crushed, brother. I gotta tell you, this life has beaten me down into a stump, and I'm not afraid to admit it, like a lot of people are. I'm not afraid to admit that life took me like a fucking rusty nail and hammered me into the ground, and left me there to rust and rot in the ground for a long time. And what I pulled up out of there, man, it ain't what got driven in. My body isn't what it used to be. My mind isn't what it used to be. My face isn't what it used to be. My thoughts aren't what they used to be. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit. I went 10 rounds with life and lost every one of them. And it wasn't until I decided to forego everything, to walk away from all this expectation, to walk away from the bills and the money and the cars and the women and the booze and I decided to take what I liked about those things and to move somewhere where those expectations weren't on me, to prepare for what I saw was coming. And since then, every day I lament the fact that I allowed life to beat me down to this extent. But you know what? What can I do but soldier forward in this broken body? What can I do but soldier forward with this addled mind and try and do the best thing I know how to do? What can I do but try? That's all I'm asking any of you. I'm not asking you to change the world, to forge a new destiny. I'm asking you to try. Now, is that cultish? Is that something that's backed by some 2,000-year-old dusty old book laden with misogyny and rape and pillaging and murder and war? Is the idea that human beings should try and make something better something so evil? They call us a cult. Well, I've owned that word before. Some of you may have seen the Highdeologies that I did in the early days when I was just starting to speak about this, where I talked about a cult, and this is used against me now. And you know what? I'll own that word now. I owned that word before I ever started this, because I knew that the flubists out there were going to put it on me anyway. So here we are, a cult. Oh, we're just the same as any other cult, right? Because I sit up here and read the Bible to you, don't I? Come on, man. Because I'm talking about how aliens are going to come down and make us all the kings of our own planet, right? Wrong. The fundamental idea of this compound is, always will be that human beings should come together and try and make something better. That we're worth preserving as a species. And if that's being a cult, then slap that label on my chest. I'll walk around with that scarlet letter. Will you? Will all of you sit by and abide being compared to the crazies at Waco? Will all of you sit by and abide being compared to the dunderheads at Jonestown? I know I will. Because you know what? I'd rather try. Maybe that makes me a bad person. Maybe that makes me a cult leader. Guess I'd rather be that than one of these empty-eyed zombies waiting for a bomb to fall on their head, huh? And if that's what you want from your life, if you want to sit around and wait to watch your children burn alive in the nuclear fire in some population center, then please, by all means, take the bus to town and go. But if you'd like to try, you stay here with me. Well, good. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of a dissent after that. Guess I got to the point. The point of the matter. The point of the matter has been reached. I think we're all better for it. All hail Sir Floob. What will be your title? The prophet, the man. That would be everybody's title in the group, or the woman. I'll be Paul the man. Because that's what we are. The representatives of humanity to the future. A group of people that will attempt to reshape the future into something that isn't a corporatized, war-torn hellhole. Can I be a woman in the cult? You can be whatever you want. I don't care. In the cult, I don't care what you call yourself. You get to choose your last name. Your first name was given to you. What you come into the cult with remains your first name. You get to decide whether you're a man or a woman. And no one will question that. If you want to be Jay the man, you'll be Jay the man. If you want to be Jay the woman, you'll be Jay the woman. What's your first name? Gertrude. Can we have slaves in the cult? We talked about that before. There will be no slaves in the cult unless the war-torn environment of the world that we've described necessitates us capturing a group of lost people for labor and assimilating them into the cult. But the goal will always be that through that hard labor and through seeing how we live, that they will see the wisdom of joining. So. Do we use the man like the commies use comrade? Like, for example, the man Paul has spoken to the man Coolman about the subject concerning the man pirate captain guy and his promote. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It can be shortened colloquially. So if you're not speaking on official business, hey man, that works. We are all men. And women. Humans. Maybe that should be the ideology then. Maybe it's like there's no gender. Maybe that's a good one. We're all just the human. The being. That'd be cool. I'm Paul the being. You are Coolman the being. You are Jason the being. That might be pretty good. I'm down, boss. Dude, Coleman's being a good lieutenant. Earning them brownie points. All right, well, I guess I'm done pontificating for the day. Go enjoy your lives. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.